Dave Scholl telling like it is. NFL Weekly. Here we are in week 9. It's already a game been played and already a game going on right now. Here we're at Sunday about 11:30. Here in New York, big week after the Jets and the Giants played some of the worst game, probably one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. I had to flip back and forth. I was watching my Vikings beat the overrated Loves, like I told you he was earlier in the year in my preview shows. So Dable, if he knows the kicker is hurt, you might want to go for it there. But if not, you definitely kick that field goal right there and go up 6 because Zach's not going the length of the field there. The bigger question I have is just because you win a game doesn't absolve a coach from his decisions. Twice on 3rd and 1, the Jets throw the ball and don't get it and then wind up punting. What in God's name are you doing on 3rd and 1 with Zach goddamn Wilson as your quarterback and throwing the freaking ball? No way. At that point, I'm running the ball. Brees is your best player. Give him the ball. You got to get a jet sweep for Wilson. Do something. Put the ball in your best player's hands. All right? Crazy. The other reason I don't really go for it on 4th and 1 if I'm the Giants is you got the ball in DeVito's hands, hasn't taken a ton of snaps, and then you're going to have to hand it off. You're going to have that quarterback exchange. You say, oh, gee, well, they should be able to do that. Well, you should also be able to hit a 45-yard field goal. You could go for it there, but again, either decision is not wrong. That's why these Giant fans overreacting to it. Giants were just awful. Once the QB gets hurt there, Tyrod, it just doesn't work out for you. Some great games this week. NFL is really taking shape right now. The Dolphins are proving again why they're a fraud. They're going to be 0-3 against winning teams. The Chiefs aren't even playing good yet, and they're going to be 7-2. Scary thing for the Chiefs is I thought they'd go get a wide receiver at the deadline because Kelsey's taking too much of the load. You think they would have inquired about the stud out there in Raider land, but that didn't work out. We'll get to that. I told you that Raider coach Josh McDaniel will be in the hot seat. He went first before Staley. I told you 2 weeks ago that the Raiders at 3-3 had a real chance with their schedule to make some hay. They lose to 2 teams that they could beat, and basically now you're 3-5. Coach gets fired. Now they're playing the Giants, who have been bad themselves. So not really a great week ahead of football. As far as the Giants Raider game is not going to be that fun, but you can see the playoff picture at least starting to take shape here. Like I said, New York Jets are looking all right at 4-3, but you know this is going to end brutally when you can't move the ball one day, and you got to lose a game like that. So big game with them and the Chargers. The Jets win this game, they're definitely headed to the playoffs. Even at 4-4, they have a good chance. But if they get to 5-3, and you put the Chargers at 3-5, and that's what we have today. We have great games today as far as you're going to get the two-way swings here. You're going to get playoff or not playoff. And some of these games, the key thing this week, though, is not even the matchups. It's who's playing quarterback. Who's the QB this week is everywhere. My Vikings, Chris Carter, by the way, all he does is catch touchdowns. Chris Carter, by the way, his Vikings, Kirk Cousins is out. All the Kirk Cousins fans who hated him all these years, you're going to see how good he was, especially O'Connell last week tries to give the game away with Hall in there, still calling pass plays. Up 14 with 7 minutes left, and this stupid ass is, trying to throw the goddamn ball on their own 10-yard line. Run the goddamn ball and make them use timeouts and punt it to your defense, which has played better. But we'll get to that in a minute. O'Connell, again, no feel of the game, head in a play sheet. That's my fear of the modern-day coach, just incredibly stupid. Like I said, Titans lost to the Steelers. Steelers are the worst 5-3 team in my lifetime, although the Jets will be a close second if they win today. Steelers have been outgained in every game this year, and they're still 5-3, which shows you why coaching matters. Mike Tomlin does a great job. Matt Canada on the sideline last week, I think it helped a little bit. Titans just don't have a lot. I thought Levis looked very good. I just think the Titans are missing some things, and basically they're moving forward and starting the fire sale. And hey, I don't blame them for starting the fire sale. It's time to do that. Nothing wrong with that. Right now, live in the third quarter, Chiefs are up 21-0. Again, Dolphins are a fraud. They'll probably still win a division because the Bills look like ass, but at the same time, they're not going anywhere deep. They're just not a big-time team. Coach can be as quirky as he wants, but that doesn't get it done. And I don't give a damn if you're quirky. I'm not about style. I'm about getting things done. By the way, 8 days from high school basketball season kicking off here in New York. It's like the latest of all 50 states, I think. We're living in arcane times here. In Memphis, they play 30 games in the junior high season, but that's why that's Memphis and this is New York. But, so other 1 o'clock games, my Vikings against the Falcons. I said before the year in the previews that teams that have a chance to win the NFC North is the teams that handle the NFC South the best. The Vikings are already 1-1 in that situation. Should have been 2-0, but they didn't play well versus the Bucks. Here we are with the Vikes basically playing the Falcons, and this is one of those two-way games. The winner, the Vikes got to play the Falcons who are 4-4, and we got to play the Saints who are 4-4. You win those two games, you're definitely going to the playoffs. If you go 1-1, you'll have a shot. If you go 1-2 in those two games, you're not going to the playoffs. Let's be honest. We still get to play the Bears again. We still get to play the Packers again, but still, you need to get to 9, maybe 10 wins this year to get in there. You got to start with this game right here today. The thing is, Taylor Heineke's playing instead of Ritter. I'm not happy about that because I respect Heineke. I can't believe the Skins let him go. But we got Hall playing. We got the backup. We brought Dodds in, who I'm pretty happy about. It seems like a very intelligent guy. I'm hoping that we don't wait too long with Hall to prove something. If the Vikings can get this game today, they are in fantastic shape. There'll be a win on the road. Going to be loud in Atlanta. Atlanta's got Bijan Robinson, who's probably one of the most underrated players in the NFL, and you're not getting enough pub. Like I said, the Falcons have a chance to win that division because the Bucks have come back to the pack, and we don't know what the hell Carr's going to do with the Saints. So it's going to be a great game today. A team that wins this game now is going to be in great shape with the other teams because don't forget, head-to-head's tiebreaker, but also conference record. So these NFC interdivisional games and the AFC interdivisional games are always so important if you're floating around the playoff spot. A huge game this week, Vikings at Falcons, 1:00. Hopefully we just don't wait too long on Hall. Hopefully we don't overload his plate, and hopefully we run the ball. KOC, though, sometimes I just don't know he might be as dumb as AOC sometimes, so I don't know what the hell the story is here. Seahawks, Ravens, Seahawks 5-2 at the Ravens, 6-2, great game. And, Pete Carroll, just one of the most underrated coaches of all time. Did a great job in the 1 year here with the Jets, but ran him out of town. Did a good job. He's just a fantastic coach. Great job at USC, and he has the Seahawk team playing well. And 5-2 at the Ravens, 6-2. And I'm hoping because, like I said, it's an NFC team. I'm hoping for the Ravens to win. The Ravens are still a little bit of a coin flip. Sometimes looked good a couple of weeks ago, but last week looked okay. Won the game. So that's going to be probably the best game of the day besides the Bengals and the Bills. Although I both think Bills are a little banged up. I thought the Chiefs would smack the hell out of the Dolphins. I know they got better records than the Seahawks Ravens do, but at the same time, I never thought this game would be serious. So I think the Ravens Seahawks game is the best game of the day. Like I said, Browns Falcons Vikings definitely probably the most important game of the day. Cardinals and 1-7 at the Browns. I got the Browns in the knockout pool today. Deshaun's going to go. Walker's going to go. With the saga with Murray is ridiculous. We don't know what the hell's going on. I thought they gave up on Dobbs too quick. I thought he was a good option, but I guess if they figured they could get a draft pick, they would take it. I think the Browns defense will be too much. Kyler, supposed to be traveling, but at the same time, we don't know if he's going to play. Probably not. Kyler Murray thing's a saga. And by the way, Viking fans, if you're asking to pick up Kyler Murray, you are as dumb as a rock. What in the hell do you want a guy who doesn't give a crap, a guy who doesn't do film study? We're not interested. All right, we're not interested in that. We want a guy who's there every day at the facility, 15, 16-hour days. That's what we want. The quarterback position is very difficult. We don't want a guy there for 3 hours and then goes to lunch. I'm not interested. Rams at the Packers. Rams a couple of weeks ago had a chance to do something in this season. They were 3-3, and we talked about McVay being a great coach. And he is a great coach, but they've had some tough things. Stafford getting a little banged up. Cooper Kupp, not the same since the injury. That's just a fact of life. Giving away Akers probably hurt a little bit. Packers, I told you, Love was not the real deal. I kept telling you that. There's no way you're getting 3 great quarterbacks in a row. And all of a sudden, our guy in Green Bay, that doesn't look like the same genius. I thought the Packers didn't run the ball enough last week versus the Vikes. But at the same time, the Packers just do not look good. They had a couple of drops in defensive Love, but at the same time, Packers are just not a big-time team. I thought their defense would be a little bit better this year. I think they sold off a couple of pieces there, but at the same time, Rams, Packers, I thought if the Rams had done anything, even had split these last 2 games, I thought they'd be in a great spot to go 5-4 today at Green Bay. But instead, now you're chasing 4-5. Big difference there, as we know. Let's go down the line here. We got the 3-4 Bucks at the 3-4 Texans. Texans last week spit the bit a little bit. We thought that they might be a chance to get ahead of the chains a little bit. Stroud's been a great job this year, but it's finally threw a pick. But the Bucks 3-4, who were 3-1, have fallen on hard times. I think the Bucks obviously have come back down to earth a little bit. I just wish my Vikings would have taken advantage of that first week. Bucks still have some great weapons. The wide receiver Baker, obviously, some people have made some adjustments. Texans are playing competitive. Ryan, the coach, has done a fantastic job. I mean, I love D'Amico Ryans as the coach. I think he's done a fantastic job. Commanders at the Patriots. This game is just totally sucks. Ron Rivera totally mismanages this game last week against the Actually 3-5 against the Eagles. He's had them twice by the balls, let him off the hook. Belichick is, I think it might be on his last leg with the Patriots. I think the Patriots will screw him over. I guess that's the way we live in this world today. So we got 3-5 and 2-6. I think that's the worst game of the day. No one gives a crap. That's the old toilet bowl game of the day. I'm hoping for the Bears to beat the Saints, but I'm not counting on it. Carr's been inconsistent, but this Saint team has a ton of talent, and you just know that they're the best team in that division. We just got to see what happens. I feel like the Saints will definitely have a chance to win this game, be 5-4, and hopefully, if the Vikings take care of their business, the Saints will be in the head of that division. Colts last week at the Browns, that was a tough loss for the Colts. A couple of penalties. One of them was a penalty, but the second one, the ball's way out of bounds. Nobody's catching that unless you're Will Chamberlain. There's nobody out there. Will Size at the Panthers 1-6. Happy for Frank Reich to get a W last weekend, but this will be a battle. Frank's done a decent job here. Young has had controllable, good completion percentages. Obviously not putting up a lot of points, but again, the kid has done a decent job. The Panthers don't have a lot around him. Colts 3-5 at the Panthers 1-6. So interesting. Richardson is just, you feel bad. He's just missed out on a lot of the season there. So you hate the fact that he didn't get to continue to develop, but the Colts have been better than we thought. They're playing hard. I think that's a positive. So Colts, Panthers, I'll be interested in this game. Giants 2-6 at the Raiders 3-5. Giant fans making all sorts of threats around here, like, you have to win this game. Oh, who says you have to win this game? The Raiders are going to get a jump. First week coaches and GMs that have been fired at 15-9 last 24 games. We know that you don't have a great quarterback out there for the Las Vegas Raiders right now. We know the Giants are struggling. Daniel Jones is back. All right, Thomas is back. Neal is back. So now we get Jones getting to play with Saquon. I think the Giants will win the game, but Giant fans putting too many demands on this thing. If the Giant, Brian Daboll should not be fired. The fact that you're a Giant fan and you think that means you just don't know what you're watching. They've been healthy one game together this year. They've had a tough schedule. I kept saying early in the year, the preseason show, if you watch it here on Telling Like It Is, Giants get to 5-6 somehow, they could maybe find a way to get in. But it doesn't look like they're going to get to 5-6. You're still going to play the Eagles twice, which is no bargain. So it's going to have to be you're going to have to play the Cowboys again. So that could probably be 9 losses right there, because I don't think you're beating either one of those teams. Although the Eagles secondary looks like crap. You just hope that the Giants can right the ship today against the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Raiders, like I said, Josh McDaniel need to get fired. It's the way it goes. Cowboys 5-2 at the Eagles 7-1. We'll see. I just want to see if the Cowboys can play this game close. Cowboys in recent years have not played these big games close. They've gotten their ass kicked because Dak is a walking apple turnover. Turnovers are good in the bakery, as we know, but they're not good on the football field. 5-2 at the Eagles 7-1. Again, Eagles secondary has been torched the last couple of weeks, 2 times in the last month by the Commanders, who just have no offensive playmakers, don't have a great quarterback, and obviously their coaching staff is hitting a struggle right now. I think that the Eagles will find a way to win, but I wouldn't be shocked here, because the Cowboys, I'm just worried about the Cowboy run game with Pollard. And if the Eagles just take care of the ball, and Hurts is a winner, going to be a good game. Looking forward to that at 425. Bills, Bengals. I think this game on paper sounds exciting, but we're just happy that everybody's healthy from last year's tragedy with the game. We're happy that everybody's healthy, but Bills are not the same team. I know they'll get up for the Bengals. Bills have had tragic injuries on defense the last couple of years. And this year they're missing Milano. All right, they're missing the corner. I mean, they're getting banged up. Bengals looked good last week versus the Niners, but in the last 3 weeks, everybody's looked good against the Niners. Bengals are hosting 4-3 at the Bills 5-3. That's tonight. That's a big game. Josh Allen has to take care of the football. We'll see what Joe Burrow does. 4-3 there. Tomorrow night, great game. Chargers, like I said, 3-4 at the Jets, 4-3. If the Chargers could find a way to win this game, they even things up, and then you get the tiebreaker, like we said before. This very similar to the Viking-Falcon game, and that you're flipping tiebreakers. And by the way, in that Eagles-Cowboy game, Eagles win that game tonight, the NFC East is over, and they will basically be the champs, because there's no way the Cowboys are catching them in that scenario. But anyway, back to the Chargers and the Jets. Again, if Zach Wilson could just find a way to complete some passes. Last week at one point he's 9 for 22. That wasn't looking good. Chargers find a way to win this game. They get to 4-4. Jets find a way to win it. They get a 2-game gap, and they're well on their way to the playoffs. And we'll be seeing them playing in early January. So we're hoping that the Jets can win here for selfish reasons here in New York, so we Jet fans don't jump off buildings. This week, the Broncos have a bye. The Broncos are very hot. Lions came off a good win last week. The Jags are 6-2, and they're not even playing well. Pretty scary. The Niners needed a bye after being 5-3. I still think the Niners are still the class of the NFC, but we'll have to wait and see. So we got Jets, Chargers. Going to be an exciting game. And let's look at the standings here. Let's just take a glance here for everybody. And we'll look at the playoff picture. We'll go by the conference, and we'll take a good look here. We'll see what we have. Right now, we got the Chiefs in first here. Dolphins are in second. That's going to remain, obviously, after today's events. Jacksonville's in the third spot. Ravens in the fourth. Steelers will be the 5 spot. Bills will be in the 6 spot. And the Browns will be in the 7 spot. And that's why today the Jets need to take care of this game because the Bengals are breathing hot on this trail as well. So not going to be as easy as you think. Jets get to 4-4 here. They're on the outside looking in. Remember, top 7 make it. And the NFC got the Eagles, the Lions, the Seahawks. And right now, the Niners are a 6 seed, which would mean, if you're the freaking Seahawks, you don't have to see them in the playoffs. Vikings right now are a 7 seed. We're ahead of the Saints. But at the same time, we got to find a way to beat the Falcons. Falcons right now in the conference are 3-2. Vikings are 4-2 in the conference. So Falcons are in first in that division. That's why they have that 4 seed. But this is huge. Vikings got the Falcons. They have the Saints. All right, you got to find a way to get both these games. You get one, you're going to have a shot. You get 2, you're definitely going to get in. You get none, you're definitely not going to get in. Real simple here on the NFL Today / Vikings Weekly Show. It's not that difficult a formula here. We got to hope that the Bucks can continue their tragic ways and get them out of here, and then we could have 7 teams, 8 teams compete for 7 spots, and that the Saints and the Falcons hopefully will bump each other off, and the Vikes can get in because the bottom of the NFC this year is already out. Packers, Giants are going to struggle unless they get to 5-6, like we said. Bears, Panthers, and Cardinals. Commanders definitely not going to make it. Rams looking banged up. Not going to happen for them. So, again, this week on the NFL, just a lot of fun. Give us a watch, Spotify, iHeartRadio.